Hey everybody, Courtney here with Parents for Change, Ray of Hope, etc. And this is probably going to be posted on my main page as well. A lot of people out here are getting really frustrated at prices, power, insurance, you name it. The cost of everything has went through the roof. Well, what you folks need to realize is that we can't change any of this until we change what's at our own front porch. And with that being said, what I mean by that is our own counties are corrupt. We have people in position. It starts in our own local county, okay? And when we can't make our own local counties respect the taxpayers, it's never going to happen in Washington. We got to replace the dirtbags we got in office in and around our counties. We got to truly ask the hard questions. Just like I asked the hard question of Stephen Fisher the week before Memorial Day. Why is the school system charging $20 for a charger that is $9? Where is $320,000 going in just technology fees alone? Not broken chargers, not broken computers, the monies that they are charging for those things. So people, it's time for you to wake up. Stephen Fisher still has not wrote me back. I did send him an email back to try to remind him to bring it up in his email. He has still yet to respond to me, folks. If that doesn't scream, they don't want us to know anything. $320,000 is a lot of money, folks. It's a lot of money. $20 in technology fees. You think, oh, that's just, what's $20? $20 is a lot in today's economy. $20 is gas. $20 is dinner. $20 is going toward rent. I know a lot of us out here are struggling, and we never dreamed of, being in positions of making $25 an hour, and not being able to pay bills. A lot of friends, a lot of families we're all struggling. And the cost of living just seems to keep going up. And illegals are in this country getting everything handed to them left and right. You can get mad all you want to at me, but the facts are facts, and they're there in your face if you want them. At the end of the day, we work too hard to be shat on by people in positions of power. And these people, especially with the school board, are supposed to want to love our children and be for the betterment of our children. How can you be for the betterment of our children and charge $20 for a charger that costs $9.87, knowing daggum getting well that the school system doesn't even pay that? And if it was so cut and dry, Mr. Fisher would have never had a problem emailing me back at the itinerary on where this money goes. But he didn't. Because he doesn't respect me, for one, as a parent. He doesn't respect me, for two, as a taxpayer. He thinks he's above us. And see, that's the problem, folks. There's no accountability, but yet they want to hold us, the parents, accountable. Let your child miss 10 days of school and see where you land up. You're going to land up going to Cleveland County Court, and you're going to go to truancy court for almost a year. And that judge is going to look at you, well, why didn't you send your child to school? Why, Shame on you. Shame on you. No. And here's another kicker, folks. For those of you that don't know, during the pandemic, I was on Channel 9 News. My kids, where I lived in an area that didn't receive cell phone service. I had no landline telephone that was ran, and I had no internet availability where I live. So I was on the news twice, on 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock news. And my children received zero education for 2 years because Mr. Fisher and the Cleveland County School Board didn't want to give out hotspots. Didn't want to help. They don't care. And I couldn't, as a parent, I even called DSS as a parent after my kids had fell behind. I called DSS. I'm like, look, the schools are not, delivering these paper packets. They're not helping me get my children their education. And there's nothing that they can do. They can only hold the parents accountable. Let that sink in, folks. They told me if I wanted to hold the school system accountable that I'd have to get an attorney. But yet they hold us accountable. Let that sink in. So we can't hold them accountable if they don't do what they're supposed to do without a lawyer that costs $5,000, $10,000. But all they have to do is send a piece of paper to DSS, and DSS is at our door, wanting to know our whole life story. And so, people, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. We have people in our own front yards, our own counties that are dirty as the day is long. And let me remind you, Stephen Fisher, the superintendent of Cleveland County Schools, makes $209,000 a year. We have 110 vacancies for Cleveland County Schools. So that means next school years, the classroom are going to be double the size. We have vacancies everywhere. Buses are going to be late. Even the teachers and staff are tired of the bullcrap because they're not allowed to speak up. The teachers are not allowed to say anything. When they are hired, they sign an agreement that they cannot speak ill against Cleveland County. Like even with the Aberly situation, for those of you that know about Miss Aberly, was she allowed the students to commit several heinous felonies inside of Burns High School. Not this past year, but the year before for the graduation. She allowed students of status in this county to go in and demolish classrooms and demolish a school, and no accountability was had, and she was allowed to keep her job. So that just goes to show you folks that these people think they are better than we are, and they think that they don't have to answer to the taxpayers and the people that pay their salary, and that is a lie. If we want change come November, we've got to light fire now. Keep the fire lit, folks. Keep it lit. If you care about your child, you need to educate yourself about what's actually going on inside your school that your child goes to. Ask the hard questions, and if they can't answer it, just like I asked the principal before I asked Mr. Fisher, and sent the principal for Burns Middle, I sent her the email first before I sent it to Mr. Fisher, and she never responded. Still to this day has not responded. So I guess she's okay too with allowing the overcharging of parents that are struggling to make ends meet as well, which is really sad to know that a principal is okay with actually doubling the price of a charger to charge the kids, and yet they're supposed to be for our kids and the betterment of our kids. How can you be for the betterment of our kids if you're sitting here doing nothing but highway robbing the parents? That $20 could be that kid's food for the week to be able to buy. And the audacity of Cleveland County, the audacity of the principals to let it happen, the audacity of the assistant principals, the audacity of every sitting school board member to say, oh, why don't you just buy it on Amazon? How dare you? How dare you, sir? How dare you? I'm over it, and I'm a pissed off parent. I'm a pissed off taxpayer. And folks, you need to wake up. The reason nothing was done with the Aberly situation is because people cowered down, and they were afraid to stand up against the big bad bully. Well, guess what? We've got to come together, folks. If we come together in numbers, they'll have to answer eventually. And I ain't going to no school board member meeting to get no answers. They've been doing it for 10 years and ain't got nowhere. Because they rule that area. If we get on social media and expose them where they have no control, and get it out there and let people know what's actually going on, we control the narrative. We're the taxpayers, folks. Wake up. Love you guys. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Be blessed. Tomorrow is Monday. Know your worth. Let's have an amazing week. And don't forget, sobriety is very, very important. And don't you ever lose it for anything. Love y'all, guys. Peace out.